Google recently sent out an email that talks about the 5 tips for success in 2026. And if you didn't get it, you're in luck because I'm going to go through every single one and explain how you can actually do them to make sure that your business gets found by as many people as possible. And the general gist of what they're saying is AI is becoming more important than ever. And if you want to get found by local consumers, you need to make sure that AI fully understands your business because more and more search results are being powered now by Google's AI mode and Gemini, which are powered from your Google business profile and other information that Google finds about you anywhere online. And so what I'm going to talk about is how to make sure that Google is going to understand your business, but also to make sure that like ChatGPT and others can also find you because they kind of go hand in hand. So if we scroll down to their 5 ways to make your business stand out, the first one that they talk about is ensuring consistent data. And what they're really saying here, though, is make sure that your business is listed on the major search platforms aside from Google, like YellowPages or N49 or Bing, Apple Maps, and so on, because Google and AIs are going to check those directories and make sure that your information is the same everywhere, because the more places they see the same information, the more confident they'll be that that information is correct. And that's what we used to call citation management. That was popular up until about 3 years ago, and then it kind of lost popularity, and now it's really picking up steam in terms of popularity, which is building out your citations across all the major search platforms. And Google is just coming out here and saying ensure consistency. And so what that means is that you can painfully manually go and update all the top, let's say 40 search platforms by hand, or you can use a citation management platform to do this all for you. And if you are a merchant customer already using Paige, then you're in luck because you can just do a one-click setup to basically take your optimized business information and send it to all of the major directories that Google and AI platforms are looking for to validate which local businesses are best to show. So Paige's version, extremely easy to use. You don't need to be an SEO expert. You just click a button and bam, your data is consistent. The next thing that they mention is to make sure we can access your content. So you need to prioritize content-rich pages for indexing and crawling and ensure structured data is always supported by visible content. So what they're saying here is that they are looking at your website to understand your business when using their AIs. And so in some cases, it's powered by your Google business profile, but then it's also supplemented with what they're getting from your website. So what does that mean? It means making sure that you have the foundational SEO best practices in place for your website. And if you've optimized your website in just a very basic way, then you're in luck because AI SEO techniques are pretty much identical to website SEO for a local business, at least. I'm going to do a Google search for HVAC repair business, and I'm just going to click on one of these options, and I'll show you what I mean here. So the important things that you do for your website are make sure that the title tag is optimized. So these guys did a good job. They have an emergency HVAC repair, Hollywood, same day AC and furnace repair. So they're really squeezing in these keywords on their homepage title tag, which I would recommend they do. The next thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a good H1, which is really the top header on your website. And here, I think they did a great job. They use the keywords best heating, ventilation, HVAC and air conditioning, AC services, and emergency HVAC repair near Hollywood and Los Angeles area. Clearly, they just jammed all of their keywords into here. It probably would have been okay if they just did something like best HVAC repair service in Los Angeles, but they're ranking at the top. So clearly, Google rewarded them for this keyword jamming mess. Next, you need to make sure that you have your phone number. And of course, if this phone number matches the one on your Google business profile, it can be up here as well, or in the footer down here. And then you also want to make sure that you have Schema set up correctly. So if you go over to view page source, you can see here, they've put in place Schema, which is basically a lot of complicated code that you have to write very specifically, and I'll show you a little more about that in a second, and then put in the head section of your website. And it's basically like the DNA of your business that you're telling Google and AIs in a format that they expect. And lastly, you want to make sure that you have a meta description set on your homepage that has your keywords. So again, this is something like same day emergency HVAC repair, Hollywood AC repair and furnace repair service in Hollywood, call now service in 30-minute HVAC repair, right? So they're clearly SEO optimizing the heck out of the website, and it is working. So you want to make sure that you do all those things. And If you are using Paige, then you can get a lot of this over here under automation and website and AI SEO. And here you can find the structured schema markup to put in the head section of your website. So we do all the hard work for you. Just basically copy this and put it in the head section of your website. And we also are going to give you an FAQ section that you can put on your website. You can format it however you want, and that will train Google and other AIs in an FAQ format, everything they need to know about your business, which will help you show up in more search terms. We're also, maybe by the time you watch this video, going to have recommendations for your website title, meta description, and H1 text to help you get as optimized as that example that I just showed you. Moving right along, we have data completeness. Make sure or ensure that your full menu or services list, including prices, descriptions, blah, 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 are added to your Google business profile so that the AI has as much information as it needs to answer the questions, because if it doesn't know for your business, it's not going to include you in the result. And so to take care of this, what you can do is head on over to business.google.com and select your business, or just search for your business's name in Google search. And as long as you're logged into the Google account that manages it, you're going to see this section here, and just go through and say things, edit services, and make sure that you add all the ones that you want, or your products, or any other information that that allows. So like on the edit profile, you can also go and make sure that you have your social links and attributes, and a lot more depending on what kind of business you're running. And if you want just a much easier way to do that, you guessed it, Paige can do this. So I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the optimization tab of Paige. And what Paige is going to do for you is just look at your SEO strategy and then figure out all the settings that you have that are not aligned with that strategy, and ask you to clean up some things. So here it already knows that our business description is optimized. Otherwise, it would have suggested one. Here it said that we had enough services, so it's not suggesting to add more, but this is what it would look like if they were suggesting more. And then here it's saying, hey, you don't have any of your service descriptions, and it wrote them for us using our target keywords. So instead of having to write these all by hand or copy and paste, all that you would need to do is scroll down and say approve all. And they go straight to Google, so you don't need to waste time worrying about this. The next thing is the attributes. So you can go in here and change all these attributes and turn on as many of them as possible. Because again, this is exactly what Google meant when they said data completeness, right? They want to fully understand everything about your business, the services you offer, your social links, pretty much all the fields that they make available. The next one is something that we've been screaming from the rooftops for years now. Make sure that you regularly upload high quality photos and videos, because your photos and videos give the AI eyes to see the heart of your business, and they will help customers find you. And so we do a lot of work to help with videos and images. But first, let me show you how you can do this for free. If you have images, just click over to photos and go and say add photos, and then you can add your photos and videos here. But I want to show you a very important word that Google mentioned in this email. They said regularly upload high quality photos and videos, not dump them all in, get us a bunch of them, right? It didn't say upload a bunch. It says regularly upload high quality images. And that's why we do it a little bit differently. Our Paige platform, when you upload images to it, and there's a bunch of different ways you can easily upload images, your team can, they then go into a queue, and then Paige will drip them onto the Google business profile after optimizing them over time, so that you are, how Google put it, regularly uploading high quality photos and videos, not just one-offing them, right? So that's a very powerful tool that Paige offers. And the next one that they're mentioning is cultivate and respond to reviews. I'm surprised they didn't put this as number one, because reviews seemingly are always like one of the most important things you can do to get found in your area, especially on Google. But they're saying the AI search incorporates customer feedback, actively encourage reviews on Google and other relevant platforms, and respond professionally. So if you didn't know, Google actually gives you a review request link that you can send to your customers. So if you go back to your Google profile, you can click right here, ask for reviews, and Google is going to give you this link that you can send. Well, for those of you who use Paige, you know that Paige has an upgraded version of that makes it easier for you to get SEO-optimized reviews, which are actually way better than the typical reviews you would get from customers. Paige can also respond to all of your reviews based on your settings. And these aren't using templates. These are like AI responses that sound exactly how you would respond if you were doing it by hand, but it can do it for you. It can ask you to approve it first. And then just like Google mentioned, where they want you to actively encourage reviews and cultivate reviews, Paige has a way that you can automatically enroll your customers in a campaign where it can ask them for a review. And if they don't leave you a review within 2 days, it can check again, make sure they didn't leave you a review. And if they didn't, it can follow up. So you have a much better chance of actually getting reviews from the people that you helped with your business. So hopefully you found this as interesting as I did. Google is just coming out there and telling us how you can rank higher in local search results on AI and Google Maps. And luckily, these are all things that we've been seeing coming down the queue for a while. So Paige is already fully prepared to handle this. And if you want to see just how optimized your business is for Google Maps and also all the major AI platforms, then what you can do is head on over to merchant.com and click see your rankings, and you can do a free audit. It only takes a couple seconds to complete, and you will get a very good understanding of how many people in your area are looking for your type of business, who your top competitors are, how you need to optimize your Google business profile, and what your current ranking is on the major search platforms. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. Thank you.